Today I have 4 wonderful players who've been putting in
That's not mine.
a lot of effort into their characters, and again, we're all here to raise money for Alex, and hopefully today's stream will be entertaining enough that that's what you all want to do. So without further ado, if we can go around from what I can see on screen, and if we can all introduce ourselves and a little bit about our characters. So, Anjuli, if you would like to.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Anjuli, and I shall be playing today the role of Margot Smith, a secretary. No one of interest, completely boring. Don't even pay attention to her. You don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Fabulous.
Next up, if I can have who's next on the stream? That will be. I've got you down as Mike. I've just realised. Mark, I do apologise. That's terrible. I should have changed that as well. Oops. Mark, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Mark. I'm the GM of the Champions RPG podcast, and I shall be playing Father Jonathan Bestwick, a sort of 65-year-old ex-military chaplain.
Love it.
Rick.
Hello, I am Rick, also known as Ricky. I am playing. I forgot my name. Bertha May. She is a professor of mythology.
Ooh.
And she is very little odd. Very little odd. Quite a bit odd.
Okay. And finally, Max.
So, I am Maxine Bachman, also known as ThatGirl, ThatPlace, and Lady Skyburn on Instagram, because apparently ThatGirl, ThatPlace is too long for Instagram. And I am playing the role of Erica Cumberbatch. Oh, Cumberbun. Sorry, we'll switch that one over. Erica Cumberbun. I am a student of my sophomore year at Yale University, and I am on a project. I'm on a project. I have a project that needs to be done.
Okay.
I like kids, and I'm a go-getter.
You've got the job. No. So we all set out yesterday from Pearl Harbor on our way to Hong Kong for many and various reasons, for our projects and religious missions, I assume. And say again?
Said no reason whatsoever.
No reason whatsoever. Okay. On holidays, and you were aboard a steamer vessel, which hopefully you can see there in the map. Which is at this stage you're on the second day. The first day was quite late getting out of the harbour, and you were all invited to come up on deck just to see the harbour off, which is maybe a little strange, as there was nobody really on the harbour. I don't think any of you had anyone to wave off, did you? Was anyone saying goodbye to anyone? No? Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Yes, I'm just waving to
random people on the harbour, and you set off out into the ocean. You know that traditionally on the second day the passengers would be invited to eat with the captain. You were told this when you were buying your tickets. So for the earlier part of the second day, what is it that you've been up to aboard ship?
I've been exploring.
I have been studying the people aboard.
Yes.
Seeing the different types of people and their reasons for going on this ship to Hong Kong.
Okay.
I've been at the bar. Jump in for all!
There,
Not
there,
you, though.
Wonderful.
there isn't really a bar. It's not that big of a ship, but you can
I've made a
bother
bar in my room.
You've made a exactly. You can bother the crew to bring you alcohol if you so desire, but there is no
Well, you're
actual
fine,
bar
yes.
on the ship. So, Rick, you said you were meeting the other passengers on board. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, to take a look at them, there's one man, obviously a southern gentleman, who is wandering around in a waistcoat with boots and a proper cowboy hat, not actually carrying a gun on his belt, but he struts around the deck. There's a young couple who are very much obsessed with each other at the moment. Yeah, there's one rather weedy-looking gentleman with a very large mustache and wrapped up in too many coats, who's going around taking notes in notebooks and seems to be reading books all the time. And there's another lady, very well dressed, who walks around the deck with a parasol resting on her shoulder because there's no sun out at the moment. Very stylish hat and whatnot. So, who would you like to introduce yourself to?
I would like to go up to the man with the mustache.
Now, the weedy man with the mustache. Yes. Okay. He looks up at you coming over and says, yes, can I help you?
I just wanted to know exactly how long did it take you to grow that marvelous mustache?
I wasn't really keeping track. I just take care of it.
I knew a man once in my day who had a wonderful mustache.
He is backing away from you slowly and holding his book to his chest. Really? Yes.
What are
That's.
you reading?
It's botany books. I'm studying. You can hear from his accent that there's a slight hint of maybe an Eastern European accent, but he's obviously very well educated in an English-speaking country, so he's. But you can still hear the hint of that in his accent. I'm studying botany. I'm traveling to learn about the highly unusual creatures that are around the Pacific. I've spent most of my time in Europe and Africa, so it's time to branch out a little. Yes, but he's still holding up.
A woman in my day who was studying botany.
Did you? And what was her name?
Her name was Rebecca.
Okay.
She was a lovely girl.
I'm quite sure. Yes. If you'll excuse me, I've forgotten something in my room, and he starts gathering up all his books and shuffling away to get indoors.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. What an
You're on a
introduction!
boat. You can't.
Anyone else?
The couple.
Okay.
I knew a couple back in my day. They were so in love and they grew old together. I don't know what happened to them.
Well, we're young, thank you. The lady turns around and gives her husband a slightly exasperated look and says, "I'm Lily Baxter. It's a pleasure to meet you." And she reaches out to shake your hand.
Oh, what a lovely name. I knew. No, I'm just kidding. My name is Bertha May. My name is Bertha May, and you look just like a woman I knew.
You remind me of my grandmother, I should say.
That's so sweet of you to say, as long as she's a nice person.
She is. She's wonderful. You can see the man standing behind her looking a little disconcerted at you. Side eye. Yes.
The stink eye.
Mm-hmm.
And young sir, what is your name?
Edwin. Pleasure to meet you.
Edwin, what a lovely name for a gentleman. I hope you're treating this lily right.
Of course.
For as my surrogate granddaughter, I will have none other than the best.
Of course. Yes. Pleasure to meet you. You get the feeling he's. Oh. He bows slightly.
And I walk away. Ta.
Is anyone else on deck at the moment?
Yeah, I think the Bestwick would be on deck, just sat watching the world go by. He's a fairly patient man, so he's in no rush.
Yeah.
How long is this crossing?
It should be 8 days if everything goes smoothly.
So he's watching this slightly dreamy woman approach other passengers, sort of weighing up whether he can keep his sanity for 8 days if she decides to latch onto him.
Well, there is a priest on deck also. Just give you that option too. But,
I knew a priest back in my day.
there's the latch.
I am exploring as much of the ship as I can. Kind of just looking around and writing notes in my notebook.
Yep.
And kind of taking more particular of where the lifeboats and stuff are, like where the lifeboats are, kind of doors and windows, and just kind of jotting that down.
Okay. The lifeboats are, there's one sitting on the roof of the cabin that you're all in. And there are two near the rear of the boat, hanging off the sides of the boat. So you're on deck at the moment as well, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I can do what you have me as looking around as need be.
Okay, doke. You know that inside where the rooms are, there's inside the upper cabin, there's like 2 stairways that go down, one at either end. You haven't been down there yet because the crew tried to keep people out of those sections of the ship. Okay. Oh, did the stream go down?
Stream went down?
Or is it just a really slow connection for me at the moment? Could be just a really slow connection. That's okay. That's all right. I must just have a really slow connection. Okay. So, you haven't been allowed down there yet. Although you haven't seen a dining room yet, so you assume that there is one down there somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just sketching everything, and if I see a bird or something, trying to sketch it, and then darn it, it's halfway done because it flew away.
Okay. Excellent.
But yeah, just kind of wide-eyed looking at things, like, this is exciting.
Okay. So, Father Bestwick and Bertha, you can both see this young woman wearing a what would be a Yale school's uniform, who's wandering around with a notebook sketching as well. Anjuli, are you still in your room?
Yes, party of one.
Party of one. and has that been your plan for the voyage?
Yes. Probably at some point we'll get bored and I will.
You will wander out. But for the moment, you're happy to just take all the gin, rum, and whatever else available.
Oh yeah.
Who's going to be the first one who topples off the ship?
Excellent. So, who have you not spoken to yet? Right. Well, do you want to introduce yourselves to each other, the priest and Bertha?
Good afternoon, sir. I see you are a priest.
Oh, good afternoon.
I know that's not the best way to start off a conversation, but I figured a little icebreaker might be in order.
Yes, I've seen you doing the rounds of the decks. Or the deck,
Just
should I say.
fabulous people around. There's a lovely couple who's my granddaughter, sort of.
Oh, I was thinking they all seemed a little standoffish. They all seem to scatter off quite quickly.
I can't understand why. And I get like really close to you and I'm like studying your face.
So yeah, he's the Bestwick's you're about 65, grey haired. He has a grey moustache as well.
I love your mustache.
Oh, thank you. He gives it a little brush. He's quite proud of it. Quite proud of his moustache.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Lovely.
And he pulls a little comb out of his inside pocket when you've finished and just gives it a little comb down. Puts it back in.
Excellent.
Don't trust a man who combs his own beard. No.
Who
Is
else
that a
is
thing?
gonna do it?
Yep.
I wouldn't trust a man who asks other people to comb his beard.
Yeah, that would be more my thing.
He's a priest. What could there be wrong?
So, why are you on this boat, if I may ask?
Oh, Hong Kong is very intriguing. I'd like to learn about other cultures, religions as well, and in the process, obviously, convert them to my own.
I see. I too am on a slightly similar mission. Although I specialize in mythology. So, we're slightly different.
Slightly.
Awkward silence.
I wasn't sure if you'd paused or the stream had frozen. Oh, well, I'm sure 8 days we will have some interesting conversations.
Absolutely. I look forward to our soliloquies.
Anyway, nature calls.
And another one shuffles off. Excellent.
Okay, I have to go this way because my phone decided that it didn't want to work.
Okay. So
Bunny rabbit.
what? Oh.
I'm being in every stream now.
So is Erica? First, have you spotted this woman wandering around talking to people?
I have and have been keeping a wide berth.
Keeping a wide berth. Okay.
Oh, Maxie, you're not in your little box.
Oh, I've come out of box.
Oh, okay.
You have. Okay.
Good.
See if
That should do
fixes
it.
Little to the left.
Let's see.
That's
That's
it.
better, yeah. Oh, you're still
Okay,
kind of off screen.
I need my box.
That should do it. Yeah, that will do it. Okay. So you're trying to avoid her. Are you trying to look like you're avoiding her, or are you just, keeping an eye on where she is and being somewhere else?
I want to be listening to what she's saying.
Okay.
Like, did I hear her say she was a professor?
Okay. Fine. Yeah, you heard that.
Right? With much reluctance,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to approach her.
Hello, my dear. Oh, what a beautiful face you have.
Hi.
I just want to caress your beautiful rosy cheek.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm
I
glad
see.
that you're pretty. That's a compliment. I'll take it. But I'm gonna keep the handsy thing. Nope. I'm good, thank you.
Safe
Yep.
space and all that.
Yeah. I'm sure you have a sister that has rosy cheeks.
I knew a woman.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I had a question. I heard
Yes.
you say professor.
Absolutely. Oh, I do love to teach.
Okay. I like to know things. That's a good thing. So, what is it exactly about mythology that you teach? I did hear you say that, right? Correct?
You
Mythology.
did. You little eavesdropper.
More gaining information, being wise. Yes.
I see.
There we
I
go.
too am wise. At least, I think so. I study mostly Japanese mythology, hence my journey. Their
Ah,
culture is fascinating.
so that's why you're on this boat, is to study Japanese mythology.
Yes, exactly.
Is it questioning your own motives or just remembering someone else who was thinking about Japanese mythology? We're
Oh,
going
neither, dear. It's nothing. Pay no attention to the woman behind the face.
right. And she just starts writing. This whole time she's been writing things down. Like
And
this
what
whole
is your name, my dear? With the
Oh,
rosy
I
cheek.
am so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she just like juts her hand out. I'm Erica.
And I
Yes.
clasp it with both hands and I kiss it.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you, my dear. And what exactly are you writing down? Is it my life story? Because I would love to have a book written of that.
I'm not necessarily a writer, but I have a paper that I have to write for my class. And it's on like the culture and architecture and art and just in the Asian culture itself. So I figured I'd hop on a boat and get the whole experience.
What you should really look at, if you're looking for Japanese culture, is their beautiful depictions of dragon.
Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. You're interesting. I am going to definitely talk to you later.
I would
But I
love to
believe
converse.
what?
I would love to converse with you, my dear.
Yes. But I believe nature is calling.
As it does to us all.
There's a lot of
Especially
that
on the
going around.
ocean, it seems.
You work for him, for me.
As you're taking your leave, you notice that somebody's put a small tent on the top of the cabin in front of the lifeboat, and there's a really skinny old man sitting in the tent,
In the lifeboat.
just in front of the lifeboat.
Okay. I am going to just kind of position myself where I can lean up against something and watch the man.
Okay. He's just sitting there talking constantly, and while you're watching, the tall gentleman with the cowboy hat comes over and he says, "An old man, isn't he? He just sits there all day, all night, muttering to himself. Apparently he came on with the captain."
Interesting. Maybe I should switch my paper from Asian culture to American culture.
Well, I don't know. The Hawaiians have a lot of commonalities with a lot of people around the Pacific, so you wouldn't be too far out of your ballpark, would you?
True. So why are you here, if you don't mind me asking?
Me? I am,
Yeah.
shall we say, retired. I have a ranch, had a ranch, I hope, that is going for sale. And I'm hoping by the time I reach Hong Kong, it will have sold and I'll be a rich man, free to travel the world.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it? Wonderful way to spend the closing years of one's life. There's always something new to learn. I'm sure you agree.
100%.
And you?
I wish you luck. Oh, sorry. She juts her hand back out again. Erica.
Erica. It's a pleasure to meet you, Erica.
Nice
I've forgotten
to
his
meet you
name.
as well.
My name is Howell. Philip Howell.
Philip Howell. Not heard a name like that. Quite unique.
I wouldn't have thought so, but hey.
The Howell. Sorry, not the Philip. I have a family member named Philip. It's very lovely. Very homey.
Did you know him back in your day?
No. Wait, what is this conversation?
That's why I didn't do the voice.
I just suddenly just. Where did you come from?
And I could just imagine her doing that too.
I really want to sneak up behind her.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. In which case, I will have Max make a sanity check to see if you spot this person who's trying to sneak into your.
Ooh.
You're not prepared.
Just one die.
Yep, you're
He's
not
gonna
prepared,
fail.
although this may be connected to you. No, not really. So just one die, okay, for the moment. You have to roll lower than your number.
Yeah. Well, it rolled a 1.
Okay, yep. So before she even gets close, you can see her coming over. Exactly like
Does
that.
she just glide?
Gliding.
Yeah, I do the little.
You'll have to say that again. I lost you there a second.
No, I just kind of slide and let her. Have you met Bertha? You have. Already.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I do love your hat.
He holds the brim, dips his hat, and says, "It's a pleasure to meet you too, ma'am."
Philip, Bertha. There, we've met. You're wonderful together.
Oh. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too.
Sorry.
How forward. And Bertha, who might you
She was
be?
calling. I'll be back. And I just leave the car. I just like back out as she.
You just dump her with the cowboy.
All right, I can rock that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just coming over to see this old man. I shouldn't call him old.
Oh, that is quite the social faux pas, my dear.
Why exactly is that? I was just.
One should not comment on a person's age. It is deemed inappropriate in polite society.
You are absolutely right, and I apologize sincerely.
Oh my goodness.
Pardon me, I have the vapor.
Well, now I've gone and upset you, ma'am. May I guide you back to your room? And he puts his arm out.
Absolutely.
So he walks you down into the corridor and leads you to.
When I go into a room, I want to then poke my head out and be like, "Has she gone?"
and as you say that, you see her walking down the corridor with the cowboy on his arm.
Oh, hello.
Is going to back to Mel, so.
Okay.
What was it you said? I didn't catch it.
She's heading back to her room as well.
Oh, okay. How are you, my dear? I do adore your outfit.
Yes, well, quite okay, thank you. Having a little party, you know how it is. Holiday, whoop, whoop.
Party? Oh, and your accent is so beautiful. I wonder if you might have room for one more in that little party.
Sure. Great.
How lovely.
Well, then I shall leave you two ladies together, and tips
Great.
his hat and takes his leave.
What a gentleman! Come in, I've got gin. And I'm English, I can't say no, I'm too bloody polite.
Did you just say that out loud?
Yes.
Yes.
I understand your politeness, dear, and it is
I'll leave you two.
appreciated.
I've got gin, champagne. Help yourself.
Not the champagne, too bubbly for my taste.
More for
I will
me.
take you up on the
Great.
gin, though.
Excellent. Well, if you want to invite anyone else in, I'm having a party.
There was a lovely girl I met up on deck.
The young one with the Yao t-shirt.
Rosy cheeks. Oh, she was a delight. She had to use the restroom quite often, though.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
It's okay.
Yes, well, great.
Yeah.
Let's have a party then, shall we?
I shall indulge in this party.
Let's bring the party to the deck. I feel like it's going to get crowded in here. It's probably not a great idea. Let's bring the party to the deck.
A queue of people stood outside your door waiting to lock it.
Let me out first.
Okay, we can skip it forward to dinner time. You're taking the gin with you to dinner, right?
It's like one of those crystal, like goblet, not a goblet, but like, you know, the crystal jar type thing.
Decanter.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the decanter. And, you know, you just, exactly.
Okay, well, we'll skip it forward to dinner, and you're all invited down the stairs on the, well, from the map to the right-hand side of the ship. And that's
I'm
when
very drunk by this time if I've had to spend the
Oh,
whole time.
yes, quite probably, and will be automatically forgiven for that. So you come down to the room at the large area at the front there. It'll probably take a minute for the stream to catch up, but there's a large room at the front of the ship that you're all brought down to and seated around a long table for dinner. And at this point you get to meet the captain. Captain Kahale, who is himself Hawaiian.
So it's spelled just like it sounds.
Yep.
My dear captain, how lovely to meet you. I have never had the opportunity to meet a captain of a boat, a ship, a thing before.
Leans over. That's a first.
Well, it's a pleasure to add a new name to your roster. I understand you've quite the coloured past from speaking to the other guests.
You could say that. I could tell you stories.
by all means. And he gestures, and you can see the crew coming in. The crew seem to be mostly Chinese, and they don't speak unless they're telling people not to go somewhere. And they're coming in, leaving food down across the table. It seems to be like everything's just laid out in large dishes, and you have your plates in front of you, and you can take whatever you like from the food in front. So. Obviously, mostly seafood, as they're putting it together. So a large lobster, and there's some squid, and
I would stay away from the oysters if I were you. Don't smell very ripe. And I knew an oyster back in my day. It wasn't
dear.
very
Indeed. I don't think you should insult the chef, though. Maybe you should try one, just to be polite.
I must admit, I was hoping for some of that, what do they call it? The raw stuff. Sushi, is it?
Calamari. Ooh.
Sushi.
sushi.
I don't know. I'm not sure that eating raw fish on a ship is probably the wisest idea.
Oh, I'll wait till we get to Hong Kong then, I suppose.
Something to look forward to. So, a pleasure to meet you all as the food is served out, and the captain's making small talk with everybody at the table. So, he talks to the well-dressed lady, the well-to-do lady, who, from what you can gather, is a widow, who is on her way out to the Far East, as she describes it, to sort out her husband's affairs.
I myself have never been married. I don't understand why.
No. It's a mystery to us all, dear.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yes. Where was that lobster?
How drunk are you?
Which one of us?
Very.
Long day.
And are we like at the point of saying inappropriate things drunk, or do you still have your wits about you? Oh, you are. Oh, good.
Sorry, that was a weird squeal.
That was a weird squeal.
Nothing happened.
I'll just doodling thing.
Still doodling. Oh dear.
Yeah. I'm more doodling at this point. Like, I'm eating. And then, like, every once in a while, I just kind of go like this. Just kind of off in my own little with some doodles that are doing and eat.
The follies of youth, I believe. You notice that the young couple don't really seem to be paying much attention to anybody else. They're just absorbed in each other at the moment. And the the cowboy came in, and he looked around the table and parked himself as far away from Bertha as he could.
Wise man.
Which leaves which leaves the little skinny man with the mustache is now sitting beside you, Bertha.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I want to know what. Gosh, now I pick up his name. Father Jonathan is doing.
Father Jonathan, what are you doing?
He's going to try and position himself so he can see the whole table as best he can. I presume the captain's at the head and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So he's not intentionally positioning himself away from the other guests, but he's trying to observe them all as best he can.
Okay.
He's already noticed that a couple of them seem decidedly odd.
So you'd probably be close to me because I'm doing the same thing, like observing everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're one of the odd ones.
One of us.
And what are you hoping for? What are you looking for?
Assuming no one else is going to metagame, I'm looking for someone that might be easily manipulated.
Okay.
I'm already looking, admittedly, at is it Bertha? Margot?
Yeah.
Bertha.
I'm Margot.
Yeah. Okay. Because she seems quite dreamy.
Oh, I thank you.
Oh dear. That could go well.
But also quite scary in some other ways. She's obviously not quite all there.
Anybody else caught your eye?
Not sure what. No.
Sorry, much.
Not really, no.
No.
Not yet. The muttery old man might be interesting, seeing as he seems to isolate himself.
Oh, the guy in the tent on the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not here.
Ah.
He's in the tent on the roof.
Interesting.
I don't know how long it takes to finish on me,
Mm-hmm.
but I would actually like to kind of take a little bit in like skin or whatnot.
Okay.
Use my staff up to the deck and give some to him.
Okay.
Aww.
So as you make your leave, sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I'm not a complete jerk.
That has yet to be decided. But there's a whole game to go. So as the meal ends and you take the piece to go upstairs, you go up and the man is just sitting on the roof muttering away. It took you a while to find a way to get up. There was a ladder down at the front by the wheelhouse, but yeah, he's just sitting there muttering, and he doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you. But what do you do as you approach?
I just kind of, I've got the food kind of behind my back because I was still kind of like stowing away from the group, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hello.
And he continues muttering.
I'll pull the food out and kind of napkin it. I don't know if you're hungry or not, but I brought you some food.
And as you reach out, he grabs for your wrist. Can you make a... actually, I'll say it's a mythos check because you may not be expecting this. This is going to be a shock. So.
Okay. So I'm not expecting it. I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
You've got to roll higher?
You've got to roll high.
I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6? Okay. You snatch your hand out of the way and he pulls his hand back, but he just looks you in the eye and he says, none of it will avail you. And as he says that, he looks out at the front of the boat and starts to ring a small bell beside him.
Excuse what? And I kind of pull out my
he's
notebook
completely ignoring you.
and jot down what he. I'll pull out like I'll pull out of my like messenger satchel bag my notebook, kind of jot down what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the food or not?
He's completely ignoring you now. He's just looking around you forwards of the boat and starts muttering to himself again.
I'll wrap it up and put it back in my satchel in like zippered compartment.
Okay.
In the like more stowaway section, I guess. Zipper part.
And downstairs, while after Erica leaves, you see the posh lady is excusing herself. She was talking to the captain, but she started to look somewhat upset, and she excuses herself and leaves the room. At that point, drinks are being served for anybody who needs them.
I think everybody needs them.
Over here. Quickly.
You realise that there was one of the crew was standing beside you with a bottle waiting. So
fill it up.
Pouring champagne into your glass.
Okay, come back.
He hasn't gone anywhere. He's just standing beside you with a
Hey there,
bottle.
good boy.
They've got you pegged.
I would like to know if you have any stronger than champagne.
Yep. One of the crew comes out with whiskey or gin or rum.
Whiskey.
Mhm.
Rum. Rum. I do believe I would like some rum. After all, we are on the ocean.
He pours you a glass of rum. The captain is also drinking rum and holds up his glass to salute you. And it's fine. Anybody else care for a
Yeah,
drink?
I'm sorry to bother you, but you don't have any brandy, do you?
He bows and goes out of the room and comes back with a bottle of brandy and pours one for you.
What's the date? We're on a steamer, aren't we? So what,
Yeah. 1890s.
1890s.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously he pulls a cigar out of his inside.
Absolutely. Oh yes. Yeah.
offers them around the table.
Yeah. Quite a few people take cigars. Quite a few of the gentlemen take cigars. Are any of the ladies taking a cigar?
Oh no. Don't touch the stuff.
I do believe I will have one. I knew some cigars back in the day. They were
I need some more drink.
So yeah, it's unusual, but yeah, I'll offer my gun cigar.
Okay. And as you're sitting there, you hear a bell ring from outside, at which point the captain just looks up and goes, forgive me, I will have to excuse myself. And he gets up and nods to everybody to the table. You're still up on the roof of the cabin, Erica. What are you doing now?
I'm just kind of sitting there. I just sit down cross-legged next to him. I'm not saying anything to him, but I'm just kind of watching,
Yep.
giving him company, not threatening or anything. Just kind of sitting up against the wall.
Yep. And that's when you realise
thinking
that there's fog rolling in. Quite thick fog, unusually for the time of night, and it's not long before really all you can see is the old man and the fence around you, and while you're sitting, as it comes rolling in, the captain comes up onto the roof and starts talking to him. They're speaking in Hawaiian, you assume. It's a language you don't understand. And the captain looks concerned and heads back for the wheelhouse. And he's about to go down the ladder. He looks at you and goes, "You shouldn't be up here. Come down.
what's the matter?
Come down, please, to the deck."
Little fog never hurt anybody. And as I'm kind of getting up, like, I kind of mumbled that under my breath. And then I look back at them. Are you going to be all right out here by yourself?
He's ignoring you again. He's saying nothing.
Kind of look at the captain. He's going to be all right out here by himself.
He can protect himself. He's fine. Come down, please.
Okay. You can tell she's very skeptical. Like, she's not sure what to do. But
And as you're coming down the ladder, you can see that the crew are mobilised. They are running around, tying stuff down. And the rest of you downstairs will notice as well that the engines have stopped.
Oh my.
There's a sharp release of steam to ease off the pressure, and the engines come to a stop. And as Erica up on the deck, you can see that they're unfurling the sails. Okay.
What's going on?
Was that the captain?
Say again?
Very confused.
Wait, what?
What's going on?
Are we? Am I still by the captain?
Yes, he's heading into the wheelhouse. I can't hear you.
Are you speaking?
What's his name?
You're
His
going to have to say
name
that
is
again.
Kahale.
We've lost you.
Yeah.
Am I
Oh, there we go.
breaking up?
Yeah,
Or am
just
I
You are.
okay now?
You're breaking up a bit, at
Yeah.
least for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're kind of back at the moment, but no, lost you completely.
Can't hear you. Yep.
The fog has stolen her voice.
Turning into a
Oh,
horror
no.
movie.
Hello.
Okay, I can
Oh,
hear
there we
you
go.
Hello.
Yes,
for the moment.
and gone again.
White cards and a big marker pen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the others are still downstairs. Nope, the others are still downstairs. Anything you would like to do?
Why have we stopped? We
Uh,
weren't scheduled to stop, were we? Should we go? I'm going to go find the captain. This is outrageous. I could be somewhere in a few days, and if we keep stopping like this, I'm never going to get there. That's it. And I grab a very, very large, heavy bag and sling it over my shoulder, and I storm off. Come on, come with me.
Are you taking the ship?
Whoever will come with me. I'll go on my own if I have to.
I will come with if you'll have me.
Great.
See, I'm sure they just turn the engines off overnight and go to sail so that we can sleep. Surely. There's noisy things.
That
Well,
does make
maybe,
an
but
ounce of sense.
I don't care.
Yeah. Father Bestwick is reordering
Oh,
mentally who might be top of his list.
oops.
Oh no, we all disappeared.
Just for a moment. Yeah.
Haha.
There we are.
Where'd Maxie go?
She's there. But,
Oh, there she is. I did see her. And then his roll on the ship. Okay.
oh God. No, we're not getting you at all at the moment, Max. Just little snippets of noise occasionally.
Bap. Bap. Bap.
Nothing.
Oh
If
dear.
she's streaming off her phone, it might be worth just rebooting her phone.
Yeah.
Jumping back in.
Yep. We can see you all right. Yeah. But we can't hear you.
Act it out.
Charades.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, now we can hear you. Maybe you were
Yeah.
too far away. Oh. Okay.
Okay, that was unexpected.
That was unexpected.
Everybody's a little out of place at the moment, but not dramatically. Okay, she's coming back in.
Sorry.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So yeah, while we're waiting for Max to come back, going up on deck.
Yes.
Yes, when you arrive up on deck, you can't see.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
You can't see past the end of your nose. You know where the wheelhouse is, roughly. If you turn left when you come out the door, you'll get down to the wheelhouse. But the crew are moving fast around you, and you're kind of in the way at the moment. Nobody's saying anything, but you can see the occasional dirty look as you're going past.
Well, I think I shall follow
Yeah.
Bertha, and when she gets on deck and it's very misty and all that, as may I offer you my arm, madam? It's very well. It's dangerous up here, and
I would
you don't seem to have
gladly
quite got your sea legs. And I think I just said the wrong person. I meant Margot.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Margaret.
Okay.
Yes, that's definitely it. Sea legs. I haven't got those yet. Yes, that's why I keep falling over.
Yes, that's right. It takes a day or two.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. Yes, let us enter the fog. Bloody hell, it's very foggy out there.
It is, isn't
I've
it? Someone.
seen some
Right,
fog
reminds
back
me of
in my
London.
day.
It could be days before anyone noticed you had an accident out here, couldn't it?
Oh God, I could fall overboard and no one would know. Or someone else would fall overboard. Looks at Bertha.
And that's when you all hear a scream.
Is it
Just
a
for a
man's
moment,
scream?
it's a man's scream. There's just a bit of a "Ah!" and the voice disappears.
Did anyone else hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my. Perhaps I shall go and I shall seek out what has made that noise.
Maybe we should all go together, dear.
Yes, join me in my crusade.
It's a crusade now. Excellent. So,
I mean, I was just going to see if it was I wasn't really going to make it a big deal, but yeah, sure, let's onwards.
Well, as
Then
the
let's make it a party.
as a chaplain, I picked up a little bit of first aid, field medicine, so maybe I can help.
mhm. So,
Did we tell what direction this yelp came from?
think it was from the back of the boat.
Oh.
Think.
Should we make a see?
Position
Like-
myself so that I'm away from them
Okay.
as close to the sound that I can.
Okay. So you're moving away from the screen.
Oh no.
Maxine? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
Can you hear us?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Let's all go towards the scream.
Okay.
Get off of my headphone. Yeah, I head towards the back of the boat with the party.
Okay. As you go to the back, the crew are standing on guard. They've all taken out harpoons, and they're gesturing at you to stay back. And one of them's coming forward to kind of guide you back from the boat. And as he comes forward, a body falls out of the sky and lands on the deck.
Oh dear.
And it is one of the crew. And just as that body lands, you hear another "Ah!" somewhere else on the boat.
Oh my lord!
Should you really be taking the name in vain like that?
I think it's okay when you're scared.
And you hear a voice behind you saying, "If ever there was
Why
a
is that in
time,
vain?
now is the time." And the cowboy has come out, and he's now got a gun belt on.
Oh God, it's Roy Rogers.
Excuse me? No, sir, Philip Howell. I don't believe we've been properly acquainted.
Oh, sorry, I must have misheard, Philip.
Excuse me, dear sir. Why do you have a gun?
When one hears screaming in the open ocean, one tends to be overly cautious, madam.
That is accurate.
Okay. Everybody who is in this part of the deck, make a sanity check.
Dear.
Dear.
Yeah.
Dear.
We're rolling low, ladies and gentlemen.
Low.
So I roll lower than my sanity.
Lower than your score, yeah.
1.
Oh.
1!
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
I rolled on my
Lower than-
sanity,
Mm-hmm.
so I got
You
2,
roll-
and mine's
you-
2.
You got it.
That
You
means-
rolled on your sanity. Okay.
So that alcohol
Yep.
keeps me sane.
So who succeeded?
I did.
You both did. Wow. Both of you succeeded. That's amazing. That's incredible. So as you're standing there, you see a creature going past you, flying past you. And I say creature because you've never seen anything like this before. It has wings that are too small to carry it. It has a huge head that is, I don't know, twice the size of a basketball maybe, and the head is covered in dozens of small yellow glowing eyes. And as it's going past, it tries to grab another one of the crew, who manages to dodge out of the way and tries to hit back at it with a harpoon, but fails. What are you planning on doing with this? Father Jonathan, you, as you see this creature go past, you remember something that you read years ago during a visit to the Vatican, and it triggers a memory. So would you like to ask a question, and I will answer it truthfully?
Is this a... I can't remember the right word. Like a prelude to what might happen in the next couple of days?
Entirely probable, yes.
Oh, right, okay. Father Jonathan's not bothered at all.
Oh, right, okay. So you're comfortably watching things happening, right? And
Yes,
as you say that, another body falls on the deck.
Whoops.
Maxine, can you try? Can you hear us?
Thinks you can hear us. I'm not sure though. She's been typing in the chat.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because I'm not used to streaming. I'm not watching the stream, and I forget
Yep.
about the chat window in there.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
apologies.
That's okay.
Okay, so she
Okay.
can hear us.
So are you still up at the front of the boat?
Where is Erica?
Yes. I'm not sure she can hear us. I'm not very good at typing one-handed. There we go. While I'm trying to arrange that. So you're quite comfortable to allow this to happen? Yes.
Oh, yes. I think the crew have this well in hand. Maybe we should retire below and... well, I'm not sure we had dessert, did we?
The cowboy, Mr. Howell, comes over, and he comes over beside Bertha, and he says, "Madam, your clergy friend may be correct. It is possibly best that we do not linger here. This could become more and more dangerous as time goes on. Please accompany me." And he has taken his gun out, but he's holding it out of the way, pointing up in the air. And Julie, what would you like to do?
Well, Father Jonathan seems like a sane man. I only have a stapler on me. I'm not going to be much good against gigantic beasts.
I think we've established that it's quite the stapler, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Well, I would then like to back away very slowly. Should anything come near me, though, I'm going to hit it over the head with this empty champagne bottle. So help me.
Okay. And you brought the empty champagne bottle? Or did you empty it en route?
Well, yeah, it wasn't.
Emptied it en route, okay.
Where's Jeffrey with my other bottle?
Jeffrey? You've named him Jeffrey?
I named him.
Jeffrey isn't there with your other bottle. He's a little busy at the moment.
Get off my booze, hound! You take Jeffrey, or there'll be trouble.
I think I shall venture and see what this mystical creature is.
May the Lord guide and take you, my dear.
I think it's the Lord that's going to take her.
Howell looks at you and says, "Take her? Sir, that's a very inappropriate choice of words, don't you think?" And he's...
I'm afraid I cannot be held responsible for where your mind takes you, sir.
And at that point, another one of the creatures comes down. So I just want everybody to roll me a d6 and tell me who gets the lowest.
I got a 6.
Another one.
Another 1 and a 2. Okay, so Rick, the creature is coming straight for Bertha.
Halt.
It doesn't halt, but as you say that, Howell turns around and starts shooting quite successfully, and manages to hit the creature, at which point it veers away.
I apologize, but what does it look like again?
It's like,
Can I?
picture a basketball with a tiny little body attached to it and tiny little wings, but with big orange blobs on the front of the basketball that are glowing slightly.
Oh, cool.
Do I have time to react?
Yes.
Before he takes his shot?
Before he takes a shot, yeah.
I'm still getting my sea legs, and if I stumble into him as he takes aim to fire.
So you're trying to stop him shooting the creature?
Yeah, accidentally.
Okay, right, okay. In which case, I will re-roll. Okay, he misses.
Oh, sorry.
Huzzah!
Damn it, sir. If you have no place on a battlefield, stay out of the way.
Creatures here trying to kill us. Do you need me to hold you up this time?
Yes, I'm sorry, madam. I didn't realise how slippy the deck was.
Must be the fog.
It must be, yes.
Holy gosh.
So, Howell is trying to guide you all back to the door to get you back downstairs.
Okay, I'll follow.
Okay.
I still have my cigar and my drink, though.
Great image.
This
Sorry,
old lady wandering around.
Then, isn't it?
The old lady wandering around smoking a cigar. Like, this is terrible. Okay. But you're all heading back towards the cabin, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think except for Max.
Except for Max. Okay, yeah. It's all right. I'm dealing with Max in chat at the moment, so... Well, Howell gets you all back inside and make sure that everybody's in before he comes in, and he takes a quick look up and down the deck to see if anybody else is out there and closes the door.
Well, shit.
Well, I don't appreciate the language, but I appreciate the sentiment.
This has all gone terribly wrong.
Absolutely. It may be better if we remain here until the captain gives us the all clear, assuming that he still can.
I couldn't quite see what that was in all that fog, but well, you're into mythology and things. I've never. I'm sure it was just a trick of the light, but what the hell was that thing?
Can I roll anything to see if I know what it is?
You could roll your mythos, roll high.
Okay. Maybe I won't get a 1. Oh, I got a 5.
You got a 5. Okay. You know for certain that wasn't a dragon. That's for sure. But you couldn't say entirely what it was, but you know it's not a real animal. It's not natural in any way. For a start, it shouldn't even be able to fly.
Okay.
Given the shape of it. Mythically, you would have heard rumours of ancient gods that would have broken and bent servants that would come and do their will as they need to.
Okay. So I impart this knowledge
Yep.
to Priest and Margot.
Okay.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Oh, that's preposterous, he says. Preposterous.
It could have been a dragon.
That sounds far more realistic to me.
I've studied dragons. Didn't quite look like one, but I haven't studied all dragons.
Anjuli, could you make a mythos roll?
Me, yep.
Yep. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's fine. Yes. It certainly seems like, I mean, Howell is now in a defensive role, presumably taking on a military stance on the situation. Father Jonathan is unusually calm. You know, he seems to be like centering everything. If you want somebody who can keep their head, this is probably a man that you should stay close to.
Round behind,
Yes.
yes. That's
Yes.
exactly what I
Look at the
can
camera
do.
while I laugh.
Father Jonathan, it seems the Lord is your shepherd, and I shall stand behind you. Quite literally, if you could be my shield from whatever dangers are beyond that door.
Okay.
Of course, madam, I will be standing firmly behind Philip here.
a double shield.
A lowly holiday maker, and now all this crap has happened.
You're never coming on a ship again.
Never, ever, ever.
I never expected it to get this exciting this quickly.
Really? You've never been on a package cruise, sir.
18 to 30 holiday.
18 to 30s. So, I just want to check something with... oh, very good. You all hear a crashing noise. Ooh,
Oh, she disappeared.
indeed.
I think she just turned off her
Ah.
cam.
Hello.
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 We can hear you, sort of, people.
We had you for a moment. There we go. No, still can't hear. Oh, it's a nuisance. But yeah,
Dang it.
Can you hear?
it's still quite broken. It's a bit annoying. It's just coming and going. So, yeah. But while you're down there, you hear as Erica has just heard that there's a loud crashing noise from the front of the ship.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, for the moment.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. I realized that he may possibly be commanding them.
Yeah.
I am going to, as quietly and without being seen that I was where I was, because I assume I'm not supposed to be where I was.
Yeah.
I am going to try and make it as fast as I can to Bertha.
To Bertha. Okay.
I'm just booking it to her.
Okay. So you'll need to get off the roof and around the deck.
Okay.
Pick a number between 1 and 6.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Any number.
Let's go with 4. It seems to be a good number so far.
4. That's okay. I didn't roll a 4, so you're okay. So you're making your way around the deck, and as you go, you can see there aren't as many crew as there used to be. You've seen a couple of bodies lying on the deck, not in a very good state. And as you're going past the wheelhouse, you can hear the captain is like shouting inside the wheelhouse, but there's nobody there. There's nobody else in the room with him, and the windows of the wheelhouse have been smashed in.
Okay. Does he? I want to take a quick second before I run off. Does he look like he's himself?
Make a mythos check.
Okay. 4.
4. That's on your number, isn't it? Great. You get to ask another question. So.
Has he been body snatched?
Does his... I'm trying to word this correctly because it's like a wish spell to me. I want to make sure this is
I'm a GM, not a monster.
Does he look like he is as sane as he once was?
No, he does not.
Okay.
His eyes are wild. He looks like somebody. He almost looks as bad as a horse in panic. His eyes are rolling. He's foaming at the mouth.
Other guy?
No, the other guy upstairs was just like on the roof, doing his muttering. He was, speaking out into the wild.
Okay.
It sounded like he was commanding, maybe praying, but it was. He was fine up there, and no one was coming in.
His muttering kind of sound like that too, only more frantic.
No, the captain's muttering sounds completely different. You've never heard anything like it before. He's wild. He's panicked. He's a mess.
So, panic versus... Okay, I'm going to book it back to Bertha.
Okay, doke. So you make it down the side deck, and when you open the door, you're greeted by a gun in your face.
Oh!
In your face, and Howell pulls his hand up and he goes, "Madam, that was risky."
My dear,
pushes you behind him.
Right?
At this stage, the other guests are coming up. Oh, say that again.
I say, "Bertha, be quiet. Come with me." And I just grab her hand and I pull her with me.
Where are you going?
We're against touching, but okay.
I'm going quietly, like back where I was, like telling her shush. Back up to, I assume the captain is closer than the other guy.
Yes.
I'm bringing her to him, like that little perch that I found.
Right. Howell, as you try to get out the door, he just turns around and he says, "Woman, are you insane?"
100.
Are you going with her?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Reluctantly, Howell is following. Armed.
Yo, Mama the goddess, leave him!
You're coming with me. For God's sake, don't say anything. But we need to know what's going on.
Okay.
How will I tell you what's going on if I can't say anything?
Whisper it in as little words as possible.
Honey.
I believe you. I need your mythology crap going on here.
The other two, are you staying indoors or are you going out as well?
Oh God, no! I'm following the man with the gun.
You're following the man with the gun. Right.
I'm heading back to the dining room.
Oh, right, okay. At this point, most of the other guests are gone. They've headed up to presumably their cabins. The only person left in there is the botanist, who seems like perturbed by the whole thing, but he's just sitting there nursing a glass, looking around himself.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we get to the cabin and...
Yeah, I think too, as we're going through the hall, before we get out to the spot, like where everybody else is, I'm kind of like whispering what I saw, like how the one guy is like commandy and the other guy is frantic, and neither of them seem themselves right now, like they're opposite, and
Okay.
trying to in as much as possible.
Okay. So,
but mainly talk because I know she's mythology and somehow professor, which makes her smart. Somehow.
your
believe
go-to. Okay,
Okay.
so when you arrive at the wheelhouse, you can hear the captain rabbiting away, making all the noise. Do you want to try and figure out what he's saying?
Yes.
Okay, roll mythos check.
Am I prepared?
This would relate to your mythology study, so yes, you are prepared.
Okay,
So
so I can roll 2.
you can roll 2.
Okay, I'm so happy.
And actually, because Erica has described to you everything that's going on out there, that's kind of like she's helping. So Erica, if you roll 1 as well, if you succeed, she will automatically get 1 success.
Okay. I rolled another 4!
Okay, that doesn't count as a success, but you get to ask a question. Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled a 1 and a 5.
1 and a 5. Okay, that's 1 success.
Yeah. That
This
means
is amazing.
that I succeed, but with a cost.
You succeed, but with a cost. Okay, we'll work on the cost later.
dear.
But you have succeeded. You have come across words like the ones the captain is saying before, again in relation to these ancient gods.
Okay.
Okay, and you rolled a 4. So what's your question?
So many questions. So inquisitive.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I didn't.
So
Okay. My question is,
You can do it.
does Bertha is Bertha the kind of person who would hide information from me?
Bertha, are you the kind of person who would hide information from her?
Absolutely not.
Is that the truth?
That is the absolute
That is the absolute truth. Okay, right, fine.
I should have asked if I could ask the other players instead of just the kind of thing.
Well, I wouldn't know until Bertha makes it clear. So Bertha is, when you have something to say, you say it.
Better believe it.
I think we've already established that, actually. We should have just known. But Anjuli, you're still hiding with
I have run after Philip Howe. He has
the
the
man
gun.
with the gun.
Keep
Yeah.
me safe.
Okay. Okie
And
doke.
God, we got the drunk with us.
So I motion for you to come down the hall with me again so that I can actually talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bertha doesn't really know how to whisper
Okay.
or talk in small sentences.
Again, canon.
For what we're doing. Wholeheartedly agree and come with you.
Okay. Anjuli, can you pick a number between 1 and 6?
Me?
Ah, pressure.
Yeah.
4.
4. 4 it is. Okay. One of the creatures is coming swooping down on you.
Oh no!
I should hit it with my champagne bottle.
You're hitting it with a champagne bottle. That would be a sanity check. Believe it or not, you're trying to do something practical. So
I have to roll higher than 2.
Lower than 2.
No,
Oh God.
no, 3.
3. The bottle is wet and comes out of your hand and goes over the deck. And see if Howell can take a shot, which he can. He manages to hit the creature, and you see one of the eyes pops, and the creature turns and flies off. Small spray of gloop comes down across you.
I lost my champagne bottle.
Was it empty?
At that point, Howell is trying to just shuffle you all inside. What to do?
So I've come across that language in my day. It is a language summoning gods and their like and minions. Uh-oh. It says there was an error.
Yeah.
It
On the
stopped
stream?
If it
streaming.
was just my connection.
Yeah.
Have we got an
There
error?
was a network error.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, according to my thing, I'm still live. Hang on a sec.
Mine says there's a network error.
Okay.
heck was that? Okay.
I've just refreshed mine and it's
It's all better?
yeah.
It's okay. Oh, right. Okay. That's all right. So, temporary glitch. That does happen to me sometimes, especially when I'm running Discord
Oh,
video
there
chat.
it is. Okay.
Yeah. Discord video chat seems to be a bit bandwidth greedy, so it will interrupt occasionally. So,
Oh, I've got an ad going.
yeah. Love them. Right. So, you're explaining. Do carry on.
Yes. I'm not entirely sure that I understood like what you were telling me. Oh, come on, just sorry. um, but I explain it as best I can. I personally am not able to. Bertha can.
Okay, yeah. So Bertha understands that this is a really ancient language that was associated with old gods from
Yes,
the
and
earliest history of
so
humanity.
is the captain, I probably know this, but is the captain summoning or banishing?
Neither. The captain is worshipping.
Worshipping,
Yes.
okay.
And you're not 100% sure he has a choice because he did not look well.
Okay. There's something wrong with the captain.
At this point, you can hear wind really picking up outside. And anybody of a nautical bent would know that the boat is rocking somewhat. Yeah. Not dramatically, not quite that dramatically. We're not quite at Star Trek bridge levels yet, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Grabbing your chair and shaking.
It.
Sorry.
So, I'm always in the wrong direction. So,
Yeah.
the weather is taking a turn for the dramatically worse.
Yeah.
I do believe we're caught in a storm. It may or may not have something to do with ancient.
You're joking, right?
Absolutely not. I don't joke. Ancient gods.
So what you're saying is these creatures that are out there and the lunatic driving this boat is because of some ancient god.
Absolutely, you're a bright girl, you are.
That was probably loud enough for
Pull out
you
my-
to hear, Father Jonathan. That was probably loud enough for everybody to hear. A couple of the cabin doors open and people are sticking their heads out.
So yeah, when Father Jonathan gets to the
That's
dining
it.
room,
Yeah.
Those gods here are.
So when you get to the dining room,
you said there was the botanist was in
Yeah.
here, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll. You don't mind if I praise her?
Not at all.
Maybe you could join me.
Yeah, that seems wise. Yes.
See, I'll gather him around and yes, start praying. Obviously, in some what sounds like Latin. So
Yes.
he probably doesn't understand what I'm saying. But
Okay.
What sounds like Latin, so it's not actually Latin?
no.
We don't know. We're not there.
And I shall join the captain, as it were.
Okay. Are you actually? Have you got a goal for this, or are you just worshipping at the moment?
Well, my ultimate goal is, if you remember.
Yes, I know what that is, but is that what you're doing right now, or are you?
Yes, indeed.
That is what you're doing right now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where along the journey this is. It's
No,
pertinent. I just feel the time, and
this feels like the time. Okay, fair enough. So, as you do that, the storm starts to take a dramatic turn for the worse. The boat is lurched. Everybody who is out in the hallway, can you make sanity checks to see if you can keep your feet?
That's below, right?
1.
No. 1, okay.
1!
Woo!
Wow.
And 2. Okay. Yep, gotcha, Maxine. So you all managed to keep your feet. Did Philip? No, Philip has fallen on his arse and dropped the gun. But he is still conscious. But yeah, this is a very sudden shift, almost like just a huge wave has come out of nowhere and just like hit the side of the ship.
Okay. I
What was that?
do believe the storm getting.
You are absolutely correct. Howell turns around and says, "Now might be a good time to stand by the lifeboats."
Yeah.
I think the lifeboats are going to help in a storm like this. It'll just break us all apart.
It may do, but if the ship comes apart, we all come apart with it.
Well,
Awful. I'm going to finish my project now.
words expelled.
Not wide.
We're changing your name to Hermione, just so you know. Okay.
Hermione Batch.
Say again?
Cumberbund.
Hermione Cumberbatch. That works. Okay. So, are you going to the lifeboats? Are you staying here? Are you going to try and raise the rest of the guests to come to the lifeboats? Or are you all just out for yourselves? What's happening?
I want to try and find the
run back
creature.
to my room and pick up some of the gin I left in there.
Okay, you're going back to your room. Is anybody else going back to their room?
No, I'm
I
not.
Nope.
might knock on people's doors. So I'm running down saying,
Mm.
"Get out! Get out! Get to the lifeboats!"
Get to the lifeboats. Okay.
And I'm just going to try and bring the biologist into my prayer.
Into your prayer. Okay. Can you make a mythos roll?
Here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Are you going back to your room, Maxine? You rolled
A 5.
5. Okay. Sorry, Maxine, you'll have to say that again. No,
I'm
can't hear you.
real nervous.
I can't hear you.
Hello.
There
That's
we
better.
go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Do this. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to put this so that it stands up. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay. Good. I'm really close to the camera now.
No, that's fine.
Well, now
oh,
everybody
well.
sees my.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
You're fine. You're
It's
fine.
not bad.
You have a beautiful face.
So, what's your plan?
I want to
no,
go
we've lost you
and
again.
No.
He had a better option than. Well, okay, he'd say God too.
Yep.
You're in and out, hon.
Yeah, it's been going. We're only getting part of it.
That's not fun.
Heard that.
That's not
It's not fun. Okay.
I want to find one of the creatures.
Oh.
Or go back to the captain. Yeah, go back to the captain.
Okay. To achieve. Father Jonathan, your mythos roll means that the guy doesn't recognize your the words that you're saying, so he just goes quiet. He doesn't try and copy you, but he just goes quiet and listens to what you're saying. But he's not leaving. And you're not sure if that will be enough, but he hasn't left the room. Okay.
Yeah. Gives me something to work with.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to find the church guy?
No, I'm gonna go to the captain.
Oh, God.
I'm going to take my gin and I might go downstairs. I've got my gin. I've
Okay.
knocked on some doors. Yes, I'm going to go back to the dining room. I'm going to tell Father Jonathan that we need to get on the lifeboats pretty damn quick.
Okay. So Erica is following you, Bertha. So if you're going back to the captain, that's where she's going. Okay. You're telling everybody to get on the lifeboat. So Father Jonathan, oh God, Morag comes in the door and says, "We need to get to the lifeboats. What do you want to do?"
The lifeboats will be they're tiny. There'll be no use here. Come pray with us. Let's pray to the Lord to make sure that this goes as well as it can. Come.
As well as it can.
Here,
right,
and pray and have. Oh look, there's a full bottle of champagne here.
Yeah.
Let me pour you a glass of prayer.
Maybe just one to calm my nerves.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will try and pull her into the small coven that I am starting to form.
Okay.
Just sit down with a glass of champagne.
Yes. You have no idea if any of this is
lifeboats.
Oh,
one
my
glass
goodness.
of the lifeboats.
Oh.
Well, you may as well finish the bottle once you've opened it.
So
I do need a new weapon. I lost my last one.
you two are going out on deck towards the wheelhouse. So as you come out, it is raining. There is a proper storm brewing. You can see the occasional flash of lightning, and there's something out on the edge of the horizon that you're heading towards. You saw a shape in the flash.
Does it look like
kind-
not
You'll have to
What
say
was
that
that?
again. Does it look like?
an island
Sanity check.
or something? 1.
1.
Yay!
Okay. Yes, it does.
Same
It looks like an
person.
island.
I'm a
Yes.
Yale girl.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Just not studying geography.
no. It is an island. You can't make out much detail of it at the moment, but it looks like you're heading straight for it.
I don't like.
Are we like?
Say again?
Said, but the engines are off.
Yes, but there's lots of
Are we
wind and the
just
sails are still up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sails.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know? Bertha, do you know how to float make a ship go? Do you know how to? I don't know.
There, she's a Yale girl.
Yale girl.
Me as a person is 100% not a Yale girl. I don't know these words.
But do you know how to pilot a ship?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Does your okay, don't Greek people have ships?
Not steamers.
We gotta figure out a way to slow this thing down.
Drop the anchor.
I feel like that's gonna do some damage, but I'm actually kind of okay with this plan. Let's find the anchor.
Okay.
Is there an anchor button?
Well, you'll have to go and find it.
Oh, dang it. Okay, so I have to go into the wheelhouse with Crazy Captain.
Yes.
I will distract the. I feel like I should be the smart one inside here.
You should be the one
I
looking
will
for the button, do you
distract
think?
the
Okay.
I can distract the captain.
Okay.
Okay. I like this plan.
Mhm.
You are acting for long periods of time. I like this.
Okay, Father Jonathan, can you make a mythos roll, please? And this is something you're prepared for, so you can roll 2.
Found our
Yeah.
opposites attract pair.
That's a win.
A 3 and a 6.
A 3 and a 6. Okay. That's 2 successes. So, you're not the only person performing a ritual on this ship.
Go on,
You
try
can
and
you can feel
link
another.
if I can. Yeah.
You can feel another power on the ship. By the way, folks, Father Jonathan, secret's out.
and a power resisting or a power.
Not resisting, but it's not the same. It's not the same ritual.
Okay. I'll see if I can weave them together.
Ooh. Okay, you're not prepared for that. Okay, make a mythos roll, but so is the other person.
Really nasty, isn't it? 4.
4. Okay. No, the other person is now blocking your ritual.
Yeah, I'm sure
Whoever it
they're
is.
more competent than I am.
Just more lucky to be honest.
What is that you're muttering? I don't think it's Latin.
And yes,
Oh,
if
it's just a strange dialect. It's
if you can make a
I did my
mythos check,
studies
please,
in,
Anjuli.
I did my studies in, I don't know, Tunisia.
Good choice. 5. Okay. Not only is that definitely not Latin, but he's quite clearly trying to lie and bluff his way out of it. He's not even trying to speak Latin. He's talking through his dog collar. So,
Sir, I may be drunk, but I don't think I trust you anymore. No, sir. You are a bad man. Very bad. I'm going to take this champagne and I'm going to try and go somewhere else.
just try and go somewhere else. That's the plan.
Just leave this place.
I shall, yeah. I'll let her leave. I'll not be pushing her out.
I have 2 bottles of champagne in my hands. And I'm leaving.
You grab your drinks and off you go. Drinks are weapons at this stage. See?
Yes.
Don't forget the gin.
I have that in my room, I'm fine.
Just under the table. You'll have to bend down. And
Champagne, gin, champagne, gin.
Together, 1 bottle. Mixed around.
Oh!
yeah, there's got to be
Okay.
a cocktail out there somewhere, isn't there?
Is there anything outside of the dining room, maybe in another room, that I could try and pull and push in front of the door?
The galley is just to your right as you go out, and everything in there you're pretty sure would be quite tied down, but the cooking plate where they've got the wok on is like a gas cooking plate. It might be heavy enough to get in the way of the door, but it wouldn't hold it for long.
Okay,
You're trying to move that, okay. She's trying to move that
You're on your own.
up on the wheelhouse. What are you guys doing now?
I was trying to think of a way. You're hiding?
I'm hiding so that when he comes out, I can scooch in.
Okay.
I'm going to go in there and wrap him up in a big old hug and start walking backwards.
Okay.
Out the
Can you make a sanity check?
Probably not. 2, which is the same score as mine.
Okay, that's not a success, but you get to ask a question, and I will tell you the truth.
Doesn't like the hug.
Dang it.
I know questions are hard.
Questions, yeah. You gotta earn your keep.
The question I have would require like a really in-depth answer, and it's like super metagame.
Go for it.
What's the best way to distract the captain from stopping talking?
I can answer
Okay.
that one. Whack him on the back of the head.
There is that, and you will get to re-roll if you want. So if you wanted to shut him up, then knocking him unconscious would definitely be a way to do that.
Okay. I'm not a violent person.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot
So
we can. Oh.
Ooh, how about if I can find a rag and stuff it in his mouth?
Okay.
That would be less violent.
I mean, you're wearing rags, theoretically, if you want to rip something.
I'm down.
Okay, right. So you're going to rip a piece of your clothing and try and stuff it in his mouth?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You're not prepared, but also neither is he. So you can roll 2 dice, and this is a sanity roll. Okay?
Okay. I got a 3 and a 4.
A 3 and a 4, and your number is?
2.
2. Oh dear. That didn't go well. Yeah, that definitely didn't go well. The captain just smacks you and knocks you towards the side of the wheelhouse.
One does not hit a lady.
He does not know that you're a lady. You're just a thing that's in his way. Sorry, Maxine, go.
I want to help her, but I'm not sure how.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how either.
What's my own? I have an idea in my head.
Okay.
Okay, I really don't have a lot in my messenger bag.
Okay.
So I want to... Does a Yale uniform have pockets?
I have no... Yes, let's say it does. Even though it's a women's uniform, they were much more practical in those days. Yes, it has pockets.
I'm just going to take... because I only have a notebook and a pencil.
Okay.
And my stuff. And apparently a torch. Is
Yep.
that one of the things we just...
Yep, you have a torch. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Let's just say you look around and there's a torch, attached to the wheelhouse.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just take all that and I kind of put it in my pockets, and I take the bag and I shove it over his head. Like I come up behind
Okay.
and put it and kind of like...
Okay, sanity check. He's not prepared, so you get 2 dice. Yes, you've already seen him operating, so you're definitely getting 2 dice on this. Would this be something that you've had to do in the past?
Oh dear.
Probably.
So roll another die.
Gotta keep the creepers away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
That's not good. Your number's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you failed. But yes, you get to ask another question, and at that point, if you want to roll again, you can.
Do I see anything I need to slow this ship down?
Yes. You can't do anything about the sails, but the engines are still operational, and if you can start the engine in reverse, you might be able to slow the ship down.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to try and distract him again?
Yes.
Yeah. We have to. He's in this. Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it. You distract. We'll just one at a time. You try your
I'm abandoning my pacifist ways, and I bring out this nice old thick book.
Okay.
It's an ancient book, and I'm gonna whack him over the head.
Okay, go for it. Sanity check. 2 dice because he's currently got a bag half over his head.
Okay, come on, be sweet, be sweet. Ah, 3 and a 6.
Oh no! Okay, that didn't work. You go to swipe, but as you do, Erica is pulling on the bag on his head, and that actually pulls his head out of the way and protects him. Anjuli, you've put the grill in front of the door. Where are you going after that?
To the lifeboats!
To the lifeboats. You're heading for the lifeboats. And as you come out into the hallway, Howell is getting everybody else out of their cabins towards the lifeboats.
Grab Howell in the face. I just go, my good man! Father Jonathan's gone crazy! I've had to lock him in the kitchen or wherever I've locked him in the dining room.
Crazy we don't have time to deal with. Get to the boat, lady. I'll see what I can do.
Beware of Father Jonathan. I'm not sure.
This couldn't work out better. It really couldn't. Anyways. Okay, so you're all heading out for the boats. Are you going with the other passengers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And they get out and they go straight to the lifeboats at the back. Father Jonathan, as you're there, is the ritual ongoing?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it is. And as you're there,
how's the botanist going? Is he ready for?
He's kind of after Morag stormed out of the room. He goes he starts backing off from you, and he has sorry, Margot, not Morag. I knew I was saying it wrong. Pardon me. He starts backing away from you, and he tries to get out the door, but there's something in the way. Sorry.
I said I quite like the other name.
What, Morag?
So
That's your last name.
yeah, Father Jonathan, seeing as his opportunity is slowly, drastically fading, and it's sort of he's shown his hand rather heavily, hasn't he?
Yes.
Will shake his head, look confused, as if he's just shaken something off of himself. My God, what's gone off? What's gone off? And he'll rush over to the door as he slowly pulls the dagger from his crucifix. And as he gets in close to the botanist, he will shout out the name of whatever this insidious eldritch creature is and jab it into his neck.
Okay.
You'll try, at least. But
You'll try.
It's about as physically competent as...
I fancy your chances, I'll put it that way. Can you make a sanity check, please? He was completely unprepared, and it has not gone.
4.
4. Okay, that is a fail. You miss, but only because at the moment that he spots the dagger, he just does this and puts his head and gets his arms in the way. So,
at least there's blood.
Yeah, but you hear a banging on the door, and Howell is outside saying, "Whatever's going on in there, it has to stop. We need to get to the boats. Get moving, people." And he's trying to force the door open.
We're coming!
Right, you can make a mythos roll on that one. I'm not sure he's going to believe you, but it's worth a go.
1.
He doesn't believe you. You hear clattering outside of a large piece of metal being thrown aside, and the door opens, and Howell is coming gun in hand. He sees you, dagger in hand. And he sees the botanist standing there.
Crazy! Get him off of me! Get him off of me!
Being a military man, yeah, he's onto you. He's completely onto you. There's no way he's falling for that. And he's bringing the gun down to shoot you.
I'll try my best to get out the way in the hope that he will just grab the chap and flee. But
okay, right.
Nap.
This will be a bad time to fail a sanity check, wouldn't it? You're not prepared, but you are a military man, so you'll have 2 dice on this. Okay.
Do I have to roll high or low for this?
For sanity, low. Yeah, you have to roll below the number.
I've got to do this. Sorry.
Yeah. Snake eyes for the win. Okay.
I thought no one's going to believe that.
No one's going to believe it. So, yeah, snake eyes for the win, and you manage to dodge out of the way, but you sidestep just as the gun goes off, and you're within reach of Howell.
Ooh.
And you have a dagger in your hand.
A dagger for a gun.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try and wrestle the gun off of him. Yeah.
You're going for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
one hand for the gun, the other hand the dagger to try and impale his wrist, try and make him let go.
Okay.
I've got to roll a 1 for this, haven't I?
Yeah, you pretty much do. Yeah, but again, you're a military man, so you get 2 dice.
Run, little botanist, run!
Okay, and again, second roll.
6 and a 2.
6 and a 2. Okay, 2 is your number, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It is. You can ask a question, but you have not succeeded. But you can re-roll after you've asked your question. Okay.
The only sane one
What's
here.
the best
You
way
really
to
are.
make him? What's the best way to make him flee?
To make him flee.
Yeah, just abandon killing me.
At this point, since you've just tried to stab him, there probably is no way to make him flee. Okay, you've just tried to kill him.
Yourself
But
and
based on the gunshots that you've heard, he doesn't have much ammo left. He's either got 1 or 2 shots
Ooh.
before he has to reload.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
To feint, to leave myself wide open. Give him
Okay.
an obvious shot, and then lure him in to make a false shot, basically.
Okay.
Feint and try and
Fine.
just take advantage of that.
So make a mythos roll. We'll see if you can bluff him.
4.
4. Okay, you have bluffed him. Okay, you fall on the ground. He takes a minute to get the botanist out the door, and he's about to go out himself, but then he decides it's worth it. So he steps forward, cocks the gun, and is pointing it at you.
Okay.
What to do?
Yeah, as soon as I wait for the hammer, I hear the hammer start to pull back as he pulls the trigger. I just try and roll into his legs, I suppose.
Okay, go for it.
Whoops. 1.
Hey! Right. Okay, you roll into his legs. You hear the gun go off above your head, and then you roll into him, and he topples over backwards. Did he drop the gun? He did. He's dropped the gun. And he's now prone on the floor.
I'm no match for him. I'm just going to
but don't you need blood to finish your ritual?
Yeah, but the botanist's still the other side of the door, and he's...
Oh no, he's scarpering off up the stairs and away. Yeah, he's out. Are you going to kill him?
He's prone, isn't he? Yeah,
yes.
Go on then.
Okay,
go on, then.
He's prone. You're a military man, and this is for your god. So 3 dice.
3?
Yeah.
But I've got to roll under 1, haven't I?
Yes, you have to roll a 1.
A 3, a 4, and a 1.
Hey, right, that's enough. You stick the dagger into his neck, and as the blood pours out on the floor, you feel that your ritual has been rejected.
Oh, no.
The other ritual takes hold instead.
Okay.
And at that point, up in the wheelhouse, what are you going to do?
You just killed a dude and it didn't even work.
You killed him for nothing.
Well, it was sort of fun.
I'm a little broken right now.
Okay. So
is the bag still over the captain's head?
It is, but it's not blocking his face, and he's still rabbiting. The storm is at full pitch now, and if you try anything, it's going to be so hard because this boat is rocking like crazy. We are at Star Trek bridge levels. Okay.
Damn it. I kind of want to pull the bag and try and bring him towards the edge and push him over, but we're in a box.
Yes.
I want my bag.
You can try and work together.
Okay.
I need my bag. By the way, the fish and seafood and stuff is still in the zip bag.
Oh, lovely. Nice. Squelch, smear, squelch, squelch.
How about I dart past the captain and and Erica, and I look at the control panel and see if I see anything that'll make it stop.
It's
Oh,
that
what just happened?
one! Oh, the lever, Kronk!
Ah. Are you going to pull the lever?
I'm going to pull the lever.
Okay.
We all just. Oh, there we are. What do I roll?
So,
Do I have
sanity
roll
for this.
roll
It has
it?
to be sanity. Yeah.
No.
But because the captain has been kept busy, and because you've been told exactly what you need to do, you can roll 2 dice, and we hope for the best.
I'm trying to
Come
help you,
on.
girl.
Uh-huh.
2 and a 3.
2 and a 3. Okay. Ask a question, quick.
Uh.
Talking the
Help me.
captain. Is there something in here? Never mind, I can't help you.
Is there anything in the cabin that I can like kill the captain with?
Kill the captain with. There is a harpoon attached to the wall above the windows that have been broken. It has come from whatever came through the window and broke the frame of the cabin.
We've tried every other way to shut him up.
from I don't want to hurt him to shove him on a harpoon.
Pacifist. Anyway, moving on.
Project.
Mhm.
Okay. Instead, I'm going to come back to him and try and pull the bag down over his head and say, Erica, you must pull him overboard.
Okay. You can roll d6. If you roll under your sanity, you can. That will count as an automatic success for Erica, right? Even if you don't, Erica, you will still be getting help, so you will get 3 dice on your roll. Okay. You've got the bag in place, so you're prepared. You're getting help, and you can do that. So between the 2 of you, you can do it. You're trying to throw him overboard?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So I'm trying to tell you.
He's not
That's
been
up to
terribly
you.
useful so far, and the boat is still heading for the island. Fast.
Is there a lifeboat like halfway down?
No, the lifeboat on top is still tied in place because there's no crew left to untie.
You know what? It
Yeah.
might. Okay, I'm in a mode of panic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I rolled my number.
That's okay. You can get another question if you
I
want.
rolled a 3 and a 4.
A 6, a 3, and a 4. Okay. 4 is your number, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you get 2 questions. You have succeeded.
I get a question and you get a question.
You have succeeded. So if you want to throw him overboard, he's overboard. But your bag is going with him.
No.
Do it.
Do it. Is there a way?
No. There is no way.
Do it.
Is he going overboard? Yes or no?
5, 4.
So you're not throwing him overboard because you want to keep your bag.
Oh,
You're throwing him overboard. Okay. You get him out the door. He topples over the side, and you watch as your bag flutters away.
Like I'm shedding a kind of tear for my bag. Like.
How long have you had this bag?
Wilson.
Ah, dear.
How long I've had this bag?
Yep.
I just got this bag.
Oh my god. There are words.
Such a rat bag, and there is no. But I just wanted it, and I had it. I got it.
And you needed it.
You broke me.
Okay.
So I just look back and say, better know where there's another bag lady.
I am not a bag lady, but you may have.
Run and pull the switch.
Pull the switch. Okay.
Okay.
You pull the switch.
How many?
You don't have to do anything. You pull the switch. You hear the engine starting up. You feel a lurch as the paddles are trying to take hold. Did you pull the switch fully down?
Would I have known from the question I asked you before if I should do that or not?
No, you wouldn't.
Wait,
You
I
didn't.
didn't ask my question yet.
Yep.
Neither one of us did.
Nope.
Would I, from my year of school,
Mhm.
have had an idea with the war going on and stuff, kind of give me an idea of what this panel is and how to drive this boat?
No. That's your question. Rick, what's your question?
Just I pull this down the whole fucking way.
What would happen if she pulled it down all the way?
The engines may actually stall or blow a gasket, and it could cause all kinds of trouble.
Okay,
Like,
I want
pulled it
to.
But
Is there? Dang it! That's another question.
Yeah.
Dear, I do not think you should put the throttle on full or put the pedal to the metal.
the only reason
That phrase wasn't
busting me
around
right-
yet.
oddly sane than anybody else here, and we haven't died yet, so
Okay.
what's happening?
You're like freaking out.
You hear the engines thrumbling to life. You hear a rattle and a clang, and everybody up on the deck.
I want to turn the wheel because that's the
The
only
wheel just
thing
turns freely. The wheel just spins in place like it's not doing anything.
Oh no!
So up on deck, you hear the engines trying to come to life. There's a huge clanging noise. You look at the last passenger, Father Jonathan comes out just after Lady Chapman. Everybody's shouting and screaming, but the storm's so loud that you can barely hear anyone. Who's going to release the lifeboat?
I'm on it.
You're on it. Does anybody want to help?
Everyone in the lifeboat.
Okay. So you get.
I've used these before. They're really tricky.
Okay.
Or at least get him in a different lifeboat to the one I'm in.
Oh, why would you do that? You have no reason not to trust the good father. Has he not been a source of calm all the way through this? Apart from the fact that, you thought he was talking weird. apart from his weird moment downstairs,
Jump in, everyone in. I'll lower them.
This lifeboat is big enough for everybody, and yes, you could lower them just by releasing it. And as soon as you hit the releases, it will just drop the boat. Okay.
Torn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting on the lifeboat. I've got my stapler out.
Stapler in hand.
Oh my goodness! You know who we've forgotten about? Mr. Man up top summoning all these little.
I have not forgotten about him.
You have not forgotten about him. Okay.
I haven't really forgotten about him, but he was just lower priority. But he should we should totally go and get him.
I was gonna. Did you hear when I said I was pulling down the harpoon gun?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard. Okay. Yeah. I when I saw that the thing wasn't going, I just pulled down the harpoon gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you climbing up? Okay. Is everybody else getting in the boat?
I am not getting in the boat. I'm following this harpoon.
Well, you guys aren't near that boat. You're up the front. So if you go up above, there's another lifeboat on top for the crew. Say again?
Yeah, I haven't left the captain's cabin yet.
Yeah. Anjuli, you're in the boat? Yeah. Yeah.
With
Are you
my
releasing
stapler, my very last bag, and my champagne, my gin cocktail.
Wait. I assume I know how to use a comm system. Or I'm sure our school would have a little intercom system thing.
Oh, heavens no. Radio and all of that is quite new. I mean, you wouldn't have anything like that. That would be far too newfangled, I'm telling you.
So then it would be...
Not at all. This is not a military vessel.
Yeah,
Can you...
I'm trying to think. I want to communicate with land. Like, there's
Try and
no-
find a flare gun.
Not in this storm.
Uh-huh.
No harpoon in hand, like, I don't know what is going on here. None of this makes sense. I didn't learn about any of this in school.
If you're looking for Morse code, that will be downstairs somewhere.
That one.
Yeah, that's going to be downstairs somewhere. Do you want to do that? You're still heading
No.
towards the island. The boat is slowing, but it's still heading towards the island.
I'm taking the harpoon gun and I'm throwing it like over my shoulder, on my
Right.
back or whatnot. I'm going up to the crazy man up on the top.
Okay.
I am following
Lifeboat.
behind.
You're following behind. Lifeboat. What
Yes.
are you doing? Are you dropping the boat?
Yeah, but only one side.
Only one side. Are you tipping everybody out into the water?
Indeed.
I'm trying my favourite as I go.
Throw your stapler. Make a sanity check. You're completely unprepared. So one time.
I had my stapler out ready.
Yeah, absolutely. You weren't expecting him to tip the boat. Come on.
Bloody well.
You weren't
I think she was, yeah.
I think you were. Okay, fair enough. 2 dice then.
Real.
Would have been expecting something from him.
Well,
so,
fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Does not trust him.
It's a 1 and a 2.
1 and a 2. Okay. Well, you'll get to ask a question in a moment, but yes, you launch the stapler. As the boat tips over, you get hit in the head with a chunk of solid metal that knocks you unconscious. But you have managed to release the boat, and everybody is being dumped in the water.
Release the sacrifices.
Release the sacrifices.
My question is there anything near me that I can grab hold of to save my life?
No, because you're busy throwing a stapler. You did knock him unconscious. He's still on the boat.
That's true.
You two are climbing up to the cabin?
Yes.
Yes. When you get up there, the old man is still there, and he is still talking. He is still muttering away in pardon me, whatever
am
language
going
it
to
is
be-
he's speaking.
I'm
You-
going to come up in a very as non-threatening as I can with my hand, like I'm putting my hand on just in case to get ready to shoot it.
Mhm.
Like my hand is on it, but I'm just like, I don't know who you are or where you came from or what's going on here, but it's got to stop, please.
Mhm.
This can't be you. Like I'm trying to reason with him.
He looks at you and he just says, "It isn't me. Do not trust the women." And as he says that, another creature comes down out of the sky and grabs him off the roof.
Oh.
Food and women are no-go. Got it.
Isn't the one standing right behind you? Anyway, moving on. Okay. Yeah. Let's safely assume that he wasn't including you in that.
I'm not 21 yet. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. And at that point, you hear the crunch and scrape and smash of the boat colliding with rocks.
Oh.
It's quite a solid crunch, and you are all thrown overboard, except for those who already are.
Do I land on rocks or do I land in water?
I'm going to say that you land in water because I'm not